Sizzle and spice, the fun begins. Rory's cooking up tasty wins. With accents wild and jokes that pop, you never know what's in the pot. Whisks and laughter, flavors bold, every bite a story told.
Alright, today I'm going to show you guys how to make a stew. This is mainly for the beginner, because a lot of people have asked me, how do I make my stews? So, very important, preparation is very important. Cut up your vegetables, cut it all up, and get that all prepared, get it out the way. I'm just going to use some frozen peas and corn, which we only add at the end because they take very quick to cook. Okay, so when we do the carrots, okay, carrots and potatoes, they always take quite long, so that you're going to add with the meat, but you'll see that. Cut your carrots up nice and small, because they do take quite long to cook. And yeah, I suppose they'll help with your eyesight if you can't read the top left corner there. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe, like if you want to.
And of course, you can eat your curry with some rice or rotis, or you can even make a bunny chow, even mash. But I don't think those from Cape Town will have pop. But you can have rice and rotis. This is the best.
Okay, so also with the potatoes, I've used baby potatoes here. So I like to cut them in half so that the curry can pull into the potato, the flavors of the curry. But you can also just peel normal sized potatoes or bigger potatoes, and the curry will pull in quite nicely. So, right, heat up your pan or pot, sorry. Add about two tablespoons of oil, maybe 3. Once it's warm, start just, frying up the onions a bit. Get them nice and translucent before you add the meat. Okay. This specific curry is basically for 3 to 5 people. It's about 750 grams of pork meat on the bone. So, or it could be one portion for myself. Yeah, anyway. No, it's about, maybe 2 to 4 people. It all depends on how hungry you are and how much you eat and how many teenagers you have in the house, because you know how much they can eat. And yeah, so very importantly again is browning your meat. This is so important. Once the onions are ready, start browning the meat. At this stage, you don't add any liquid or anything. You just keep browning it, Very important. You want to keep all that flavor inside. And then we're going to start adding all the dry ingredients. Okay, so here we go. Right, so today I'm only going to use so this is a mixture. It's about a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder, and then about 3 teaspoons or a sort of heaped tablespoon of curry, because it's a mild curry, just for taste. And then add a bit of salt, also for taste. I like my salt, so I add a teaspoon and a bit, but you can add more, you can add less. Always add more of everything if you're going to be doubling this particular stew or ingredients. If you're making for 6 people or 8 people, you can always just double everything. This is just also, there's no right or wrong way. You don't have to use pork, you don't have to use lamb, you don't have to use beef. You can use whatever you want. You don't even have to use meat for all those vegans out there. Yeah, so very importantly, brown the meat, use your dry ingredients, carry on browning it, right? I'm just adding a tablespoon of sugar here. So obviously that's very, that's optional. I mean, if you've got diabetes, I won't suggest that. But yeah, what it does do is it balances the salt with the sugar, gives it a little bit of a sweetness, and yeah, you'll be quite surprised what a nice difference it makes, especially the brown sugar. Keep browning it. There's no rush to add any mixture yet, any moisture, any liquids. First makes, this is very important, this stage is very important, so just keep going. It doesn't take too long. Obviously I've sped up the video a bit, so it shouldn't take too long. Then when it starts looking like this, then you're basically ready to start adding a bit of liquid. Now I'm just adding water, but you can also add, I also like to add a stock cube. So now I'm adding boiling water because that sort of helps it along a little bit quicker, because if you just use cold water, then it's got to come up to the boil again. And then you can add a stock cube or two. I like to add a chicken or chicken stock cube. For me is quite nice. Even if I'm doing beef or lamb, I just like a chicken stock cube, but you can use any one. You can even use a chili beef stock cube. Okay, so yeah, we add the carrots and the potatoes because they take quite long to cook. We always add them first out of all the vegetables. And we try and drown them a bit, try and cover them with a bit of water, but if it's not totally submerged, it's also not a problem. And then you bring it up to the boil. So as you can see, it's really going quite strong here, the boiling water. So you want to just give it a few stirs, and then now you turn the heat down. So you can let it now simmer for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Just like I said, you first just, stir it a few times, and then just lower the heat, and then let simmer for a while. Okay, so now you'll see the water, it's not boiling as rapidly. So now you can go and sit back, chill, sit down, relax. Okay, so after 45 minutes, just relaxing, letting it do its own thing, start getting the soup ready. So this is just a packet of Knorr soup. I like rich oxtail, but you can use any flavor that you want. And then open the pot, check it out.
Okay, now you can stab a potato like it owes you money, but don't kill it, otherwise you'll never get your money back. Okay, so now you can add your peas and corn.
Just before the soup, because it really takes very quick, and you don't want it to all disappear in the pot. So at the same stage, we start adding the soup. This is just soup and water mixed. Okay, so now you just stir it gently for about 10 minutes on very low heat with no cover on it. Leave it open completely. And then you can serve, or you can wait a bit and then serve. Really wish you could smell it.
Please subscribe for more.